Hi, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 reasons why you may not be attracting the relationship of your dreams, and I will talk about that in just a moment. Welcome back. It's great to connect with you. So I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you may not be able to attract the relationship of your dreams. And I actually run into this quite often, especially when I'm dealing with clients who feel that they're blocked or they're stuck and they can't get past a certain point when it comes to relationships. So one of the reasons why you may be running into issues whenever you are trying to attract a good relationship is because you keep repeating the same stories. The story that you tell yourself, the story that you share with the world, is who you are. It is your state of being. It is your resting state of being. So if you've gone through many trials and tribulations, if you struggled in relationships, if you got that one ex that just seems to be the basis of every story that you tell, then you are probably stuck in an energy loop. And every time you tell that story, every time you talk about that ex, every time you share those details, you are essentially reactivating that old energy and it begins to come back up into your life. What you send out, you get back. The universe is going to support and to help you to sustain your state of being, your energy, the energy state that you choose to reside in. So if you're telling stories about your past, if you're talking about that ex, if you're talking about all the horrible relationships you've been in or how horrible people have treated you in the relationships, then you are not taking responsibility for your part in moving forward and moving past those cycles, those issues. And your part, your responsibility is to change your energy, is to shift your energy and to let that go. Because the longer you hold on to those stories, the longer you will be impacted by them. Go back and look at the relationships, look for the good in them, and find something to be grateful for so that way you can make peace with those issues and then you can move forward. And then you talk about a new story. You create a new story for yourself. You find relationships that represent or that reflect the kind of relationship you'd want for yourself and start to tell a story, start to look in your past and only see the good that you've been through, that you've experienced, and try to relate in that way, because that begins to vibrate your energy at a different level, at a different frequency. That begins to shift your energetic resting point, and then the universe begins to take its cue from you and starts to reflect back to you, starts to bring to you like experiences. So the story that you tell every day, the story that you go over in your head, the story that you feel so emotionally passionate about is the story you need to change. Reason number 2 why you may not be attracting the relationship of your dreams is because you are stuck on expectations and ideas that are outdated and no longer work. I know so many people who have based their ideas of relationship on Disney movies, where you find your Prince Charming arrives on a white horse and he comes to save you from your life or from yourself. It's not practical and it's not realistic. And most of us encounter people in the real world and we try to see in them that expectation. We try to look at relationships we get into with that ideal, and it's not a good fit because we're dealing with real people who have real emotions, who are imperfect. So they are not going to match up to that idea, that theory of how relationships should work. I always tell people, stop watching television, stop paying attention to the movies that you see on television because they do not exemplify what a real relationship is like. It's like going fishing. Every time you go fishing, you throw your hook in, you're going to catch what you're going to catch. Sometimes it's a small fish, sometimes it's a big fish. Either way, you can still make a great meal out of a smaller fish or a medium-sized fish. You don't need the perfect sized fish. But people have this expectation that every time they go fishing, that they're going to catch the perfect fish. And if they don't catch the perfect fish, whatever they catch, they throw it right back in and they don't make a meal of it. And so what you need to do is anytime you have an opportunity to connect with someone in a very authentic and real way, just let it be what it's going to be and drop the expectations, because these expectations are getting in the way of you really achieving a lasting relationship, and they're blocking you from moving forward to be able to achieve more. Reason number 3 why you may not be achieving the relationship of your dreams is because you expect the relationship to validate your own worth and value. So many times when I'm dealing with clients, this comes up over and over and over again. the person, the individual, does not feel worth anything. They don't feel like they have any value unless they are in a relationship with someone that matches up to the expectations. I myself went through this for many, many years. I grew up in an abusive home, and I didn't feel like anything. I was constantly teased, and people made me feel like I was nothing, and I bought into it. And so as I grew up and became a teenager and then started to date, I was trying to find validation in the relationships that I was in. I was trying to feel worthy. I was trying to feel like I was something important and like I had something meaningful to contribute to the world. But I wasn't giving that to myself. I wasn't even telling myself that. I was trying to find someone who could tell me that, who could, through their actions, tell me that. And that is simply not necessary and is only a block to further connecting with others who could potentially be an amazing connection and could bring to you an amazing relationship. So that is one thing that others are not responsible for. Time and time again, I say this with people who are married. I say, your spouse is not responsible for your happiness. You are responsible for your happiness. You are responsible for how you see yourself, how you choose to see yourself, and what you're going to do to make you happy, to give yourself a sense of happiness every single day. It is not that person's responsibility. Their job is just simply to be with us, to give us that companionship, a sense of intimacy and connection. That's it. They're not responsible for making us happy. There are people who are serial monogamous, which means as soon as they end one relationship, they jump into another, and it lasts about 3 or 4 months. And you'll notice the pattern: people who are only in relationships for 3 or 4 months, and then they'll drop it and they'll jump to the next one and to the next one, because they're stuck on that first love high where they don't know that person quite too well, and they're just starting to kind of get a grasp of who that person is, and so because of that, they're in love with the idea of what that person is to them, not necessarily the person themselves. So, and that's what I would call like infatuation. And you'll notice it's the first 3 months. And usually in relationships, the first 3 or 4 months, it's this in love with the idea of, but not necessarily in love with the person. When you're in love with the person, you really do value that individual for who they are, who they choose to be, and the value that they bring to your life, not for the idea of who you think they are in your mind, because that is an illusion. That is you reaching for something that is not in front of you. That is you reaching for something that you think should be in front of you, but the person that you have in front of you is the best thing you can get, and they're standing in for that idea or that vision in your head, and that's not real. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching this clip. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more like this, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. If you are on Facebook, go ahead and follow my page. If you're interested in working one-on-one with me for a coaching session so we can work past some of these blocks and issues, then go ahead and head over to my website at www.fernandomarone.com and go ahead and head down to the coaching link. I look forward to our next session together.